the video, as I understand it, first you have what is a 404 issue, which is a prior bad act, though one I'm sure everybody probably in this courtroom has committed at one time or another, of violating the traffic laws in some way, including by not wearing a seatbelt. And so can you address that part of it, the prior bad act, and how the court should deal with that? And then also I am concerned with the issue raised about the communication between the officer and Mr. Kohberger, for example, his asking why they need his phone number. That could, I think, be unfairly looked at as if he has something to hide, which would be, I think, unfair. And so I am concerned about that.
And I appreciate Your Honor's comment. I think when you review the video, you can put it, the court will be able to put it better into context. The state certainly doesn't intend to argue or suggest that the colloquy or the discussion between Mr. Kohberger and Deputy Duke somehow showed that Mr. Kohberger was a bad criminal type of person. We certainly are not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination, although the defendant alleges it in their response to the state's filing, that the fact that the defendant was apparently speeding without wearing a seatbelt somehow means that he is guilty of murder. I mean, that's a preposterous concept. And the defendant seems to have backpedaled from that before Your Honor just a little bit ago. The state's purpose is to elicit the vehicle and connect the defendant to the vehicle, the description of the vehicle, the defendant's name, of course, his phone number, his address. That's what the state's interest is. And the state, as it views the entirety of the relatively brief traffic encounter, we don't see anything incriminating or making the defendant a bad person out of that. Now, of course, Your Honor will need to see that and decide if its view is different. But we don't see that as being prejudicial. We certainly are not trying to argue some sort of propensity that because he questioned about, why do I need to give you my driver's license, that all of a sudden that makes him a murderer. I mean, that's beyond a stretch of imagination.
So it's not that we don't understand that his identity is going to be proven. As I argued, there are a myriad of ways for them to bring in his identity, but to add all the other components that you will see in the video do much more than just prove that he's Bryan Kohberger with a phone number in a Hyundai Elantra.